I've got two units that need to be replaced today. This one where the compressor was bad, which we diagnosed and tested. Hopefully I'll get the video up so you can see that. And then another one where the fan lid was really bad. And I'll show you where the fan baffle completely fallen apart. And what I'm going to do instead of replacing both of them is take the fan lid and fan motor from this unit and swap it with the other one. So I'll get that going. See, there's about 8 screws that hold this on, so we just need to pop those out to get this going. I'm trying to get this done in the morning when it's nice and early, a little cooler. This just has about 8 screws to hold it on. I've already got the disconnect pulled and disconnect discharged. I'll make this safer. And it's going to be the same thing on the other side here, just removing all the screws that hold this on. Okay, I'm going to make sure all my fan baffle screws are tight up here. That one was a tiny bit loose. This one was a tiny bit loose. That one was a tiny bit loose too. Okay, we're all set there. Now let me bring you over here. Around to this side, we've got our disconnect pulled there from the disconnect box. Gonna go ahead and just, since I'm coming back to this, it's always a good idea to discharge the capacitors. Okay, set my screws down here, and then we're going to disconnect all the wiring from here. As well as disconnecting the fan capacitor. So we've got our white and black wire here. Disconnecting those to go to the fan motor, and then just disconnecting the fan capacitor like so. Now it's just a matter of lifting off the lid and carrying it over to the other unit. So the lid, I'm just going to lift it up and pull the whole thing off. Here goes, taking you with me. Set this down for now. Now here's our unit that needed to be replaced. You can see that the lid is completely cracked, as well as the fan baffle fell inside, and I would have needed to replace this unit, but instead I'm going to be able to replace just the lid. So coming over here, I'm going to trace the conduit back to its disconnect, which is right here. I'm going to pull our disconnect, that way the unit doesn't turn on us. And then again, it's a matter of just removing the screws that hold the lid on. And again, I'll need to discharge the capacitor and pop the front plate off the unit. This one only has a few screws. Should have about 8 screws. All the way around here. Now on the front here, we've got a screw holding the front plate on. Here, there's our More screws. Now we're going to discharge our capacitors. So we've already got the power disconnected, so here's discharging the caps. You want to make sure you're only touching the insulated portion of your screwdriver when you discharge the capacitors. And this should be secured better, this capacitor, so I can show you that on another video. Check that out if you want to, how to secure these. Anyway, we'll just slip the leads off here. There we go. And then we're going to disconnect our wiring up top here. Okay, so now we got all wires disconnected. Got a white wire and a black wire. Took up our new lid. And now it's going to be a matter of lifting off the lid, passing the wiring through the little hole in the front here. Conduit. And we're just going to lift this whole thing right off. Now it's going to be putting our new one on. The new one, we're going to lower it into place, and then we're going to pass the conduit through here. You might have seen on my video where I secure the capacitor here. Here you can see the inside here, there's nothing that the screw is going to go into. Other units you'll have to be careful that you're not screwing into anything like a refrigerant tube or anything like that when securing the capacitor. Okay, so now we're going to lift the new lid into place, and we're going to pass the wires right through here. So here goes that. Here's our new unit. And up top here is where we're going to need to pass our wires through. Right here. So we're just going to collectively feed these through. Make sure we get them all through there. And then we're going to want to pass the conduit as much as possible. Okay, so you can see it's through the hole there. Now we can hook up our wiring, or we can secure our lid. Either way, I'm going to go ahead and hook up the wiring first. Get this going. So our black's going to go to black, and then the blue is going to go to what is usually yellow, maybe off-white, so it's that one there. Anyway, we're going to secure these. I like to twist these together real good and then secure it with a wire nut. Some people follow it up with electrical tape wrapped around that, which is sort of overkill. It's not really necessary, but you could. So anyway, here's our blue and yellow, or blue and white, blue and off-white. Then hooking up the fan motor. Here's the capacitor. And like I said, I'm going to come back later and do a video on securing this better. It's just for now to show you. Okay. And when you replace a fan motor, you always want to use a new capacitor. This one's new, but not really replacing the motor. I'm just reusing an old one, and everything was working there. So now it's going to be a matter of going around and securing our lids. We want to make sure all the way around that the lid is on. So on that side's good. On this side, you can see it needs to be adjusted here. So I'm just using my flat blade of my screwdriver to pull it forward. points like so. And a little insert and turning the screwdriver usually does the trick. I like to see that seat down a little bit more so that it's in all the way. I'll lift this side up a little bit. Get this side first since it's being stubborn on us. There we go. So just making sure it's in all the way around. And now we can go ahead and secure it with our screws. It's where my 6-in-1 shows its quality. And that you can just take the flathead out and secure these down. And right here, making sure it's under the lip of the wire portion of this. There we go. All secured there, ready to go. And again, now that our fan lid is on, we'll just verify that all these baffle screws are nice and tight here. This way nothing comes off on us and everything does what it's supposed to do. Alright, good to go. So now we can plug our disconnect back in. And now it's ready for action. Okay, this particular AC has a cover over the contactor, but I want to show you how you can test your system's working if the unit was not turned on. So this one doesn't have a call for heat, and we just want to verify that everything is working properly. So we want to remove this cover. Be careful not to touch anything in there for now, and then we can push the contactor in manually and the system should kick on. There we go. Verify that our fan is working properly. We have good rotation, nothing's bouncing around, and we're good to go. We salvaged this unit and we didn't have to replace it. A couple things I could do is secure this capacitor and then straighten this contactor out, secure that a little bit better, as well as tighten up any wiring connections. I'll have to get into showing you some of those things in future videos. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.